How's it going? I'm Kyle Berard. Here are two covers, two stale fishes,
Two fishes.
two fishies.
What do you remember about Concussion?
Concussion, I can't remember the trip because there was I remember we were going up to the Northwest a lot at that time. So maybe 2006, 7, or 8.
Uh-huh.
I have a world board, so it was on world. So that was, I think that's what it was. So that was before consolidated. So maybe it was even earlier. Maybe it was 05.
Uh-huh.
I remember Rhino being on the trip. If it was a world trip, it was probably Barty, Mike Peterson. Pat Duffy was probably on at that time after Legacy kind of went away.
Right.
That was a really fun couple of years. I remember that because everyone that we skated for on all the teams, we were all super good friends. Yeah. So that sometimes doesn't happen where you know, if the team's big or like everyone's spread out, you don't know each other that well. But we were traveling so much at that time that like it was like, all right, where's the next vacation?
Yeah. So this is the pool at Donald, Oregon.
That's Donald, Oregon. Yeah. So I remember like we might have skated the Butter Bowl. We might have skated Burnside on that trip.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting it confused because we did do a trip to Orcas, and I don't know if this was the trip to Orcas Island or not, because the Orcas Island trip was a lost trip.
Okay.
Actually, I take that back. This might be that trip. We met up with Chad Shetler, and they had an RV, but we had a van.
Okay.
I'm getting two.
I mean, it was a while ago. I know.
I'm getting two trips confused, but basically all the same people.
Yeah.
Because Duffy was on World
Lost
and Lost, so we were on trips together all the time, and then if we were lucky enough, we would get Rhino to shoot everything. I think Rhino shot everything on both of those trips, so that was
cool.
That was some good shit. That was good times.
Lowcard.
This was later. Jeez, 2013 or 14.
Okay.
Because it's Elephant.
Yep.
And Dan's ramp, and so Dan lives in Escondido. I live in Vista, so this was like, at this time, these couple of years, it was like, that's where we skated.
And you're so in the face. This was one of Tadashi's kind of early fisheye
That's right,
photos.
It had the fisheye, yeah. And I remember.
So this is before Dan had bowled in the ramp, right?
That's right, yeah. And I remember Tadashi said, don't worry about hitting the lens. I remember him saying that, and I was like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, before the bowl, so Dan had probably just moved to Escondido from SF. Like, he'd probably been living there for maybe a year or two. Because we moved to Vista around the same time. So we moved to Vista 2012. Yeah, so it's probably 2013, 2014. There was some really cool sessions. And apparently that ramp has been resurrected since, I think the first time it was built was 94, I think. Wow. So I remember asking Hewitt, you want to come skate Dan's new ramp? He's like, that's not new. He's like, I fucking ate shit on that thing in the 90s. And I remember him saying that.
Wow.
So it had moved to like, it had probably moved 3 or 4 different times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, do you have any classic covers come to mind of friends that got covers, stuff that you saw early as a kid skating that have been influential to you over the years?
You know what's funny? The covers, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different covers I can think of, but like Ortiz is over there.
Yeah.
And every time I see Ortiz, I always like thank him a little bit. Like, thanks for 4-on-1.
Yeah.
Like that's what's in my head because I was just talking to Ortiz. Like, thanks for 4-on-1. Like, that's like those videos at the time were hitting so hard. Like when me and my friends were skating and we'd only been skating for like a year or two, and that's when like 4-on-1 kind of started. So I'll just go with that for now.
All right. Yeah, any particular issue cover you remember for that?
I remember one of my favorite skaters, Trey Winslow, was in like I think issue 1 or 2. Okay. Or something. And I remember at night, like I swear to God, like that was one of the first couple videos I saw. Like so, right when I started skating, 4-on-1 kind of had just been out for maybe like a year or 2 or something like that.
Awesome.
So I'm like a full 4-on-1 kid, like mid-90s guy, you know.
Kyle, I think that about covers it. Thanks for sitting down with us. Where are we today?
We're at Rene's. This is BluntSteel headquarters. We built this, Front Rock, my company. We did it in pieces, but this was the big section. And if you go around, we started over there with just bag pours.
Right.
And then we got a little carried away on this side of it.
And today's Rene's, what, his 50th birthday?
Oh, Rene's 50 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 50. I think he's got to do a 50-foot 5
Grind,
yeah.
Awesome.
So we'll see how that goes. But happy birthday, Rene.